Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real. If you want to live a better life, you've got to force yourself to improve. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to come knock on your door and say, hey, I'm here to make your dreams come true. It doesn't work like that. You've got to look in that mirror every single morning and say, I'm not staying the same. I'm not living like this forever. That's where real change begins. Growth only begins when comfort ends. The truth is, nothing worth having ever came from staying comfortable. Comfort feels good, but it kills progress. When you live in comfort, you stop stretching yourself, you stop learning, and you stop moving toward your potential. Growth demands struggle, sacrifice, and discomfort. Every great person you admire, whether it's an athlete, an entrepreneur, or a leader, they all had to leave the comfort zone. They had to put themselves in positions where they didn't feel ready, where they didn't know what would happen next, but they kept pushing forward anyway. That's what growth looks like. It's not smooth, it's not predictable, but it's necessary. You've got to understand something. Life is designed to test you. It's not meant to keep you comfortable. Every time you reach a new level, life is going to challenge you to see if you're really ready for that level. You can't get stronger if you never lift anything heavy. The same goes for your mind and your spirit. You've got to lift yourself through difficult times, through pain, through rejection, through fear, because that's how you grow. That's how you turn weakness into strength. That's how you build a kind of character that can handle success. Most people never see their potential because they stay where it's safe. They don't want to fail. They don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to feel pain. But let me tell you something. Failure, embarrassment, and pain are all part of the journey. You don't grow when everything goes right. You grow when things go wrong, when you're uncomfortable, when you're tested. Comfort might give you peace for a moment, but growth gives you power for life. If you keep choosing comfort, you'll never see what you're truly capable of. Think about it. Every time you faced something hard and didn't quit, you came out strong. Maybe it was a job you thought you couldn't handle, a situation you thought you couldn't survive, or a dream you thought was too big. But when you pushed through that discomfort, you discovered something about yourself, that you were tougher than you thought. That's growth. That's progress. It doesn't happen in the easy seasons. It happens in the storm. When you decide to grow, you decide to be uncomfortable. You decide to take risks, to face challenges, to stretch your limits. You start to realize that pain has a purpose. It's not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. Every obstacle you face is a lesson. Every setback is preparation for something greater. The moment you stop avoiding discomfort and start embracing it, your whole life changes. Because growth isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to improve. People who grow are people who don't run from change. They understand that life won't wait for them. You either evolve or you get left behind. And the only way to evolve is to step into the unknown and trust that you'll figure it out. Growth doesn't ask you if you're ready. It demands that you show up even when you're scared. The truth is, you'll never feel ready. You just have to move anyway. When you force yourself to grow, you unlock parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. You find confidence, strength, and wisdom inside of you that only struggle could reveal. Comfort hides your potential. Challenge reveals it. So every time you feel that resistance, that fear, that discomfort, know that you're in the right place. That's where transformation begins. Growth only begins when comfort ends, because comfort keeps you still, but discomfort pushes you to become who you were meant to be. Success requires daily discipline and personal accountability. You can't wish your way to success. You have to work your way there. And that work starts with consistency. Discipline is what separates dreamers from doers. It's the quiet daily choices that no one sees that shape your future. You can't wake up one day and expect success to just fall into your lap. You got to build it brick by brick through habits, routines, and a strong sense of responsibility for your own life. Every single day is a new opportunity to do better than you did yesterday. But you only get the results if you stay committed, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when nobody's clapping for you. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. The people who win in life are not always the most talented. They are the ones who keep showing up when others stop. You can't build greatness by skipping the grind. The small, repetitive actions, waking up early, practicing your craft, eating right, staying focused. These are the things that compound over time. That's how you grow. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. People love to talk about goals, but discipline is what turns those goals into reality. Without discipline, your dreams stay dreams. And then comes accountability, the part most people avoid. You can't blame others for where you are in life. You can't blame your parents, your boss, your past, or your circumstances. At some point, you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm here because of the choices I made. It's not meant to shame you. It's meant to empower you. Because if your choices got you here, then new choices can take you somewhere better. Accountability gives you control over your destiny. It forces you to own your actions, your time, and your effort. Every day you have two choices: make excuses or make progress. Excuses feel good in the moment, but they steal your future. Progress might hurt today, but it builds pride and confidence tomorrow. Discipline and accountability go hand in hand. One keeps you on track and the other keeps you honest. You can't have one without the other. A disciplined person without accountability becomes mechanical, and an accountable person without discipline becomes inconsistent. Together, they create unstoppable momentum. You've got to create standards for yourself that don't change depending on your mood. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems. They set routines that make progress automatic. When you get up every morning and do what you said you do, even when no one's watching, that's discipline. When you admit your mistakes and fix them instead of blaming someone else, that's accountability. These two traits will take you further than talent ever could. There will be days when you feel tired, uninspired, or even defeated, but those are the days that define you. Those are the moments when discipline and accountability speak louder than feelings. When you say, I don't feel like it, but I'll do it anyway, you're building power inside you that no one can take away. You're proving to yourself that you're reliable, that you can trust yourself to do what you promise. That's how confidence is built, through consistent action. Success doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from thousands of small moments where you choose to stay disciplined. It comes from holding yourself accountable when things go wrong, learning from it, and coming back stronger. You can't improve if you're not honest with yourself. And you can't achieve if you're not consistent. Success requires daily discipline and personal accountability. Because in the end, nobody can do your push-ups for you. You've got to put in the work day after day until your habits create the life you always dreamed of. Excuses kill potential faster than failure. You can recover from failure, but you can't grow from excuses. Failure teaches you lessons, but excuses stop you from learning anything at all. Every time you make an excuse, you choose comfort over growth, and you give away your power. People who make excuses are always stuck in the same place because they convince themselves that nothing is their fault. They'll say the timing isn't right, the resources aren't enough, or someone else had it easier. But the truth is, the moment you start believing your own excuses, you start limiting what's possible for your life. Excuses are the easiest way to avoid responsibility. They make you feel better temporarily, but they steal your long-term success. When you fail, at least you tried. You learned something about yourself, you gained experience, and you can adjust your approach. But when you make excuses, you gain nothing. You stay exactly where you are. Failure is part of progress. Excuses are the enemy of it. If you keep telling yourself stories about why you can't, you'll never find out that you actually can. You see, success isn't about having perfect conditions. It's about making progress in imperfect ones. There's never going to be a perfect time to start, a perfect situation, or a perfect plan. The only thing that separates successful people from everyone else is that they stopped making excuses and started taking action. They didn't wait for life to hand them an opportunity. They created one. Every excuse you make is a wall between you and your potential. Every action you take is a step toward breaking that wall down. Excuses are often born out of fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But fear only has power when you listen to it. The more you feed your fear with excuses, the stronger it becomes. The more you face your fear with effort, the weaker it gets. Life rewards those who move forward despite fear, not those who hide behind reasons. You can't expect growth when you're always defending your limitations. Every time you say, I can't, you're really saying, I won't try. It's easy to blame the world for where you are. It's easy to say someone else got lucky, someone else had connections, or someone else had a better start. But the truth is, every successful person faced challenges. The difference is they refuse to let those challenges become excuses. They turn obstacles into lessons and pain into fuel. They understood that failure doesn't define them, excuses do. Because once you start making excuses, you start believing in your own ability to change your life. The reality is you will fail, you will fall, you will face rejection, but that's all part of the process. Every time you fail and get back up, you build strength. Every time you face a setback and keep going, you build resilience. Failure refines you. Excuses destroy you. The more you run from responsibility, the more you trap yourself in mediocrity. But when you take ownership of everything, your time, your effort, your results, you take back your power. You start realizing that success was never about luck. It was about accountability and persistence. You can't improve what you won't face. Excuses keep you blind to your weaknesses. They convince you that everything outside of you is the problem, when in truth, the problem is often your unwillingness to act. The moment you stop explaining why you can't and start asking how you can, everything changes. Excuses are lies we tell ourselves to stay comfortable, but comfort kills dreams. You have to be bold enough to look past your reasons and step into your responsibility, because the world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards effort. And once you stop making excuses, you'll start seeing just how powerful your potential really is. Improvement is a choice, not a gift. No one wakes up one morning magically better at life, stronger in character, or more successful in their field. Improvement happens because someone made a conscious decision to change. Every person who has achieved greatness decided at some point that staying the same was no longer acceptable. You can't wait for luck, talent, or timing to transform you. You have to make a deliberate choice every single day to get better, to learn more, work harder, and keep growing, even when it's uncomfortable. Improvement doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of consistent, intentional effort. People often look at successful individuals and think they were just born that way. They assume talent or opportunity made them who they are. But behind every story of success is a person who made a choice to improve. They chose to practice when no one else would. They chose to stay focused when distractions tried to pull them away. They chose to keep learning when it would have been easier to stay comfortable. Every improvement you see in someone's life is the outcome of hundreds of unseen decisions. The decision to try again. to learn, to fail, and to rise. Improvement begins the moment you decide that you're not going to let excuses control you anymore. It's easy to say, I can't do this, or it's too late, but improvement doesn't care about your excuses. It only responds to your effort. You don't have to be the best right away. You just have to be better than you were yesterday. That's the real power of growth. Small, consistent choices that add up over time. When you keep choosing to improve, even in small ways, you create momentum that transforms your entire life. No one is coming to save you or hand you the life you want. If you want to be better, you have to make that decision yourself. Improvement is personal. No one else can do it for you. You can read every book, listen to every motivational speech, or get all the advice in the world, but until you decide to take action, nothing changes. The power is always in your hands. Every choice you make either moves you forward or keeps you stuck. Improvement starts when you stop waiting for perfect conditions and start doing the work with what you have. Every day gives you a new opportunity to improve, but not everyone takes it. Most people want change without challenge, progress without persistence, and growth without effort. But real improvement requires sacrifice. It means giving up bad habits, letting go of negative thoughts, and refusing to settle for average. It means waking up early when you'd rather sleep, focusing when you'd rather scroll, and pushing yourself when you'd rather rest. Those moments define your future more than anything else, because every time you choose effort over ease, you strengthen your ability to improve. The beauty of improvement is that it doesn't depend on where you start. It depends on how committed you are. You could be at the lowest point in your life and still choose to get better. You could have failed 100 times and still decide to try again. The choice to improve is always available to you, no matter your age, background, or circumstances. Improvement doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. It's about showing up every day with the mindset that says, I'm not done yet. When you start seeing improvement as a choice instead of a gift, you take control of your destiny. You stop waiting for things to change and start becoming the change yourself. Every decision to improve, no matter how small, builds confidence and momentum. Improvement is not something that happens to you. It's something you create through consistent action, hard work, and the decision to never stop becoming better than you were yesterday. Every step forward demands mental toughness. Life will test you again and again, not to break you, but to reveal the strength that's already inside you. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build every time you face adversity and refuse to back down. Every challenge, every setback, every disappointment, they're all opportunities to develop resilience. It's easy to keep moving when everything is going right, but true strength shows up when nothing is going your way, when you feel tired, when the odds are against you and you still choose to keep going. That's what separates those who succeed from those who give up. The ability to stay strong when everything inside you wants to quit. Mental toughness is not about being emotionless or pretending that pain doesn't exist. It's about controlling your emotions instead of letting them control you. It's about standing tall in the middle of chaos and saying, I'm not giving up. You'll face moments when fear tries to stop you, when doubt whispers that you're not good enough, and when failure tries to convince you to walk away. But the people who make it in life are the ones who push through those moments. They don't allow temporary emotions to destroy permanent goals. They use their pain as motivation and their obstacles as fuel. Building mental toughness means embracing struggle instead of running from it. The mind grows the same way muscles do, through resistance. Every time you push through something hard, you become stronger. Every time you fail but decide to try again, you build endurance. It's not about avoiding hardship. It's about learning how to stay steady within it. The more you endure, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes next. That's the real reward of mental toughness. Unshakable confidence in yourself. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Mental toughness is the difference between reacting and responding, between panic and patience, between giving up and grinding through. When life knocks you down, you have two choices: stay down or get back up. The tough-minded always get back up. They may cry, they may stumble, but they never quit. Because they understand that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Every step forward might hurt, but it's taking you somewhere better. Sometimes people mistake comfort for peace, but peace doesn't come from avoiding struggle. It comes from mastering it. When you develop mental toughness, you stop being afraid of difficulty. You stop waiting for things to get easier and instead become stronger. You stop saying, I can't handle this, and start saying, let me find a way through this. That mindset changes everything. Because life won't slow down for you, you have to toughen up for it. Every breakthrough you're hoping for will require a stronger version of you. Mental toughness also means being patient with your journey. It's understanding that success doesn't come overnight and that growth often happens in silence. There will be times when it feels like nothing is working, but that's when you have to dig deep and trust the process. You have to remind yourself that progress is being made, even when you can't see it. Tough people don't give up just because the results aren't visible yet. They keep going because they believe the effort will pay off. The truth is, life doesn't get easier, you just get tougher. Every step forward will test your patience, your faith, and your endurance. But each test you pass makes you stronger for the next one. You can't build a powerful life with a fragile mindset. You've got to train your mind to keep moving even when your body, your emotions, and your circumstances are telling you to stop. Because every step forward demands mental toughness. And every time you prove you have it, you move one step closer to the life you were meant to live. You are responsible for becoming your best version. No one else can do it for you. It's your life, your choices, and your effort that shape who you become. You can't hand that responsibility over to anyone. Not your parents, not your teachers, not your boss, not your partner. The truth is, you are the only one who can build the life you dream of. Every decision you make, every habit you keep, and every action you take is either moving you closer to your best self or pulling you further away from it. Taking responsibility means understanding that your growth is in your hands and no one is coming to rescue you. You can't blame the world for where you are. Life might have been unfair. People might have let you down, and circumstances might have been tough, but none of that changes your ability to choose differently now. Responsibility means saying, yes, life hit me hard, but I'm still in control of how I respond. It means owning your mistakes, learning from them, and refusing to let your past define your future. The moment you stop pointing fingers and start looking inward, that's when real growth begins. Because when you take responsibility, you take your power back. Becoming your best version is not about being perfect, it's about progress. It's about pushing yourself to rise above the limitations you once accepted. Every day gives you a new chance to improve, to learn something new, to become a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser, a little bit better. But it won't happen by chance. It happens by choice. You've got to make a daily commitment to your own development. Read the book, exercise your body, discipline your mind, surround yourself with people who inspire you to be better. That's what responsibility looks like in action. Many people waste years waiting for someone to motivate them or fix their problems. But the truth is, no one's coming. No one can live your life for you. If you want to change your situation, you got to take ownership of it. You have to be your own motivator, your own teacher, your own supporter. Responsibility means not waiting for perfect conditions to start. It means starting where you are with what you have and doing the best you can. When you do that consistently, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Being responsible for your best version also means holding yourself accountable. You can't demand excellence from the world if you're not demanding it from yourself. You got to be honest about your weaknesses and disciplined enough to work on them. Self-accountability is tough because it forces you to confront your flaws, but it's the only way to grow. Blaming others might feel easier, but it doesn't change anything. Owning your actions does. Every time you hold yourself accountable, you build character, and that character becomes the foundation of your success. There will always be challenges, distractions, failures, and setbacks that test your focus. But when you know that you're responsible for your own destiny, you stop letting those things control you. You start responding with strength instead of emotion. You stop waiting for luck and start working for progress. Taking responsibility means accepting that your results are a reflection of your habits. If you don't like where you are, change what you're doing. If you want to be better, do better. You are the author of your